Hey everybody, peace, love, and prosperity. It's your girl, Isis Love, coming at you again live and direct for some jewels. And today we're going to be speaking about my favorite topic, finances, prosperity, shmoney. And we're going to be speaking about living beneath your means, right? Some of you may or may not have heard this before, and some of you may have heard this and you're like, what is this, right? So we're going to give some people some time to come up on the live video. Peace, peace, peace. What's going on? What's going on, Miss Jordan? Peace, 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 family. Go ahead, come on in, come on in. What's going on, Ryan? Peace, 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 love, and prosperity. Come on in, get cozy, get you a notebook and a pen, because the information that I'm going to be giving today, you definitely want to take this in your everyday life. So give me 1 second. I'm going to get my notebook and I'll be right back. Ding! I'm back. Let me see. So we're going to be starting here. Hey, good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. How are you? Where are you tuning in from, Miss Jordan? Where are you at? What state? What country? Where are you at in the world? I'm going to be inviting some people. So if you're just getting on here, go ahead and share this video, right? Just go ahead, take a moment, share this video, get the word out to your community. Everybody needs to hear this information that I'm going to be giving today. And like I said, make sure you have your notebook and a pen, because what I'm going to be speaking about today is definitely going to increase your money and help you also reduce your debt. Pay off your debt. I know we all want to pay off our debt, and I know we all want to increase our money. So you definitely want to get your pen and paper so that you're able to take notes for all of the things that I'm talking about today, okay? So let's go ahead and let's get into it, right? So we're speaking today about living beneath your means, right? Living beneath your means. What does that mean? It means living like if you make $70,000, then you need to be living like you live if you have $50,000. If you make $50,000, then you need to be living like you make $30,000. So your means is your network, right? It's the money that you receive after taxes is taken out your paycheck, right? That is your means. That is what you have to work with. So after taxes is out and you get your money back and you see that magical number, that is your means. And so often here in society, we want to keep up with the Joneses, right? Have you ever heard that phrase before? Keeping up with the Joneses, right? We want to go out. We want to have all the fancy stuff. We want the Louis Vuitton. We want the Chanel. We want the brand new cars, the brand new houses. Now, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I enjoy luxury things, but I also know how to enjoy it and do it in a smart way where I always make sure that I don't put myself in a position to create any debt, right? Because everybody wants to eliminate debt. So what happens is when you live above your means, that's how you end up getting into debt, right? Because let me give you a first and foremost where people mess up at, right? Buying a brand new car. You should not buy a brand new car. That's part of the reason why I do not have my Tesla yet, because I had to fully, really think about it. I'm like, okay, the Tesla's cool. It's nice. Yes, I could get the Tesla, right? But I had to make a solid decision and say, you know what? You can still get it, but right now is not the time, right? I don't want to live above my means, right? So even though I can afford to get the Tesla, right? I don't want to have any car payments. I don't want to pay anybody anything. I do not want to put myself in debt. I worked so hard to get myself out of debt that I don't want to put myself back into debt, right? And I know currently, right now, the Tesla is about over $100,000. And no, I don't have $100,000 to pay it up straight. So I'm not going to get the Tesla right now. Right? So buying a new car is not always a good thing to do. First and foremost, when you drive that bad boy off the lot, it depreciates in value. Each year that car depreciates in value, right? And so another thing is we take out these loans, and then these loans have interest rates, right? So you may think that the car is $50,000, but at the end of that 4 or 5 year loan, it then taxed on, about $5,000 to $10,000 more because of the interest, right? Because of the interest. So buying a new car is not necessarily a good thing to do. Now, however, if you have, I would say, if you have 75 to 80% of the money that you do want to put down on a car, then why not? Because you're not going to have that much to pay, right? But I say, get you a car that's going to take you to A, B, and C until you work up enough money to be able to get that dream car, and treat that car like it's your dream car, right? Because we know how the universe works, right? We know how law of attraction works, right? You got to think it, you got to feel it, you got to become it. So I don't care if you're in the Honda and you want to, you want an Aston Martin, act like that Honda is an Aston Martin, right? Drive in it, feel it, got my Aston Martin. Who cares if it's a Honda, right? Because you are training your mind to already get into the field of what you want, right? So first and foremost, do not buy a new car. Me currently, I just moved back to Atlanta. Everybody knows I've been traveling. I was in Mexico. I was in Miami. I've been different places. I didn't need a car. In Mexico, you really don't even need a car. Now that I'm back in Atlanta, guess what? I'm going to buy my car straight up cash, right? I'm going to buy my car straight up cash. I am not going to finance a car or anything. I'm gonna buy my car straight up cash, so therefore I don't have to pay anybody, right? Smart decision. So material things don't always equal happiness, right? Material things don't always equal happiness. Don't get me wrong, material things are cool. We all love to enjoy the finer things of life, but sometimes those things are temporary fixes. Half of the times we want to get the finer things because we want to keep up with the Joneses, or we want to feel important, or we think that if we buy these material things and these luxury things, it's going to change the way we feel in the inside, or it's going to make us happier. That's not always the case. That is not always the case. So another thing that I wanted to say is, being able to track your expenses. So very important. I don't care if you are a millionaire, a trillionaire, a billionaire, right? You can pull it up, look at different millionaires or wealthy people. Everybody tracks their expenses. You have to know what is going in, what is coming in, and what's going out. What's coming in and what's going out. If you are not tracking your money, how do you know where your money is going? Right? How do you know where your money is going? So you have to really budget your money. You have to strategically do that. And if you don't know how to do that, please get with me after this live. That's one of the services that I offer for my business, My Life Financial Liberation. Me and my partner daily, we track our expenses daily. We have a whole ledger so that we can see what's coming in and what's going out. And it also helps you identify your habits. We all have spending habits. We all have spending habits, right? Like, I love to eat out. I love to eat out. And I'm not stopping myself from eating out. You don't have to stop yourself from eating out, but you need to put money to the side for that month. And you need to tell yourself, okay, my budget to eat out is $30. My budget to eat out is $50. My budget to eat out is $20. I don't know, whatever you feel like is doable for you. And then you have to stay disciplined, right? You have to stay disciplined. Discipline is the key, because it may seem cute in theory, And you may put the money to the side and you like, yes, this is what I'm going to do. But then your ego start coming in and it's like, well, I know you ain't got no money left to eat out, but don't you want to go here? No, start cooking. It is so important that we start pouring our own love into the food that we make, right? The food that we make, because we get to put our intentions into it. We get to fuse it with our love. So I highly recommend that you start paying attention to your finances, seeing what's coming in and what's going out, right? So that's another thing. Second, groceries. Talking about food, we often spend a lot of money on groceries, not even paying attention to it. Do you know how much money you can save if you would meal plan and meal prep and make a shopping list, right? Who has randomly went into the store, right? And I want to hear y'all comment, right? Who's randomly went into the store for one thing and came out with 5 things, right? If that was you, if you went into the store for one thing and you came out with 5 things, I want you to comment, that was me, right? Because we all have done it, right? We all have done it. You like, yeah, I'm about to run in this store and I'm about to get me some bread. And then you get into the store, you're like, oh my gosh, the grapes are on sale. Oh my gosh, my favorite drink's on sale. Oh my gosh, just buy one, get one free, right? Oh my gosh, it's 2 for $5. That's where they tricking you at. Of course it's 2 for $5, because if it's $2.50, of course if you buy 2, it's gonna be $5, right? So that's how they trick you up in the stores, because 2 for $5, of course, it's $2.50, right? So make sure you have a grocery list. Me and my partner spend $40 a week on food. Only $40 a week. So that means we spend $160 on food a month. You're probably like, what? How do you do that? We only spend $40 every 7 days on our groceries, right? On our groceries. That's all we spend, right? And it's a lot of it is pre-planning, meal prep, having things that you can stretch out and extend. Some meals can be cooked and extended to the next day, right? Some meals can be turned into other meals. So you have to get creative. Granted, your budget might not be $40 a month because you may have kids. You may do other things. You may eat meat. See, that's the thing. I don't eat meat. And so for me, I'm paying for vegetables. I'm paying for nuts. I'm paying for fruits. Well, actually fruits, because vegetables are really just fruits. So I don't eat meat. So I'm pretty sure meat prices are a little bit more expensive, and that can cut into your budget. So I highly recommend that you just cut back on a little bit of the meat and start eating a little bit more lively, right? So meal prepping, putting money to side for groceries. Oh, and the next one is a house, right? Owning a home, right? Everybody wants to own a home, right? Everybody wants to own a home. They want their new houses. Everybody goes out. They get the mortgages for like 30 years, 15 years. Oh my gosh, 30 years to pay off a mortgage. That's crazy, right? That's crazy, right? So what I would suggest is start to save money for your new home, right? I don't care if it's $5. I don't care if it's $2. I don't care if it's $1. Start to save money for your home, right? So when you do decide to buy that brand new house, at least you will have a good of enough balance to put down on that home, right? So don't just go out there willy-nilly and go buy you a brand new home and you already know you're living paycheck to paycheck, right? Because then you're going to be living above your means. We don't want you to live above your means. We want you to live beneath your means, right? So there's a lot of things that I could do that I choose not to do because I'm making smart investment choices, right? I'm going to plant, and then I'm going to reap what I sow, right? So you know me, I'm not a big shopper, right? You have to put money to the side for how much things you're going to buy when it comes to clothes, right? Me, I'm majority of the time in a house. I really don't go out so much. So when you look at my closet, I don't have a big wardrobe of clothes, right? I really don't even have that many. Not because I can't afford to get no clothes, because Lord knows I can afford to get some clothes. But why do I need all these different outfits just to sit in my house, right? Just to sit and look cute in my house, right? You know what I'm saying? I put clothes on because I'm live. Most of the times, I'm a nudist. I like to be naked, right? I only put clothes on for y'all, right? And outside, of course, right? So I'm not saying don't go out and shop. Like, I just went to the mall and brought me some things, right? But I brought me a couple things, and when I buy my clothes, I make sure that my clothes could be mismatched and into some other clothes. So I'm not just gonna buy an outfit that can only be worn once. If I'm gonna buy a shirt, that shirt's gonna go with various different things. If I'm gonna buy some shoes, I'm gonna make sure the shoes can go with everything, right? So you'll be surprised. These little small habits that you change in your reality can help you put more cash into your life, right? Another way, I jotted down some things, so I'm just reading off of my notebook. Another thing is start to find other ways to make multiple streams of income. Come on, family, think about it, right? I have to do another live video on this, but let's just hypothetically say you have 10 bills, right? You got your water bill, you got your light bill, you got to pay for the kids' daycare, you got groceries, you got a car payment, you got car insurance, you got rent. I mean, that's already 7. And I know you got phone bill, you got internet bill, cable bill, you know what I'm saying? Gym membership. That's already 10 bills. How are you supposed to pay those 10 bills with one stream of income? Right? How are you supposed to do that? If you have 10 bills, you need to create more streams of income, right? You can't complain about not having any money and not trying to do anything different about it, right? So start bringing in multiple streams of income. Now, those so many different ways, multiple streams of income. I am currently at 34 different streams of income, okay? 34 different streams of income. And they're all various different amounts, all various different amounts. But the most important part is I'm not relying on one paycheck to live my life, right? I'm always constantly exploring other ways to bring in multiple streams of income, right? MSI. Right? I'm addicted to MSI, multiple streams of income. Okay. So another ways that you can help expand your money is to get into things like stocks, get into things like Forex trading. Everybody knows I'm a Forex trader. With Forex, learning how to trade Forex, you can get paid daily, right? Daily. Every day, 24/7, right? With Forex. So start getting into Forex trading. If you don't know anything about Forex trading, contact me, right? You also can start investing into Roth RIAs, right? Roth RIAs. Start compounding your money. So you may be like, well, Isis, I don't have that much money to save. We all have an amount of money to save. We all do. I don't care if it's only $2 that you can only save. Save something. We all have money, but the problem is we're not tracking our money. Remember, we're not tracking it. So when you don't track your money, you can't see the money that you already have, right? So start looking into Roth IRAs. Also, check into banks that have a high yielding interest rate, right? It's called one of the banks I use is Goldman Sachs, right? Goldman Sachs has a pretty high interest rate. Like I'm talking about $3, $5, a month, just taxing on to my money, right? So just having a regular bank account that's giving you no interest you're not gonna go far with that, right? So start saving money, right? Start saving money. Excuse me 1 second. I gotta take a sip of this tea. All right. So another tip for living beneath your means is a emergency fund. Yes, an emergency fund. I call it the God only knows fund because you never know what you're going to need that money for, right? But if you don't have a emergency fund and when an emergency happens, because shit happens in life, shit happens. When you don't have an emergency fund, then that means you got to tap into your money, right? Your main check, and it may mess some stuff up, right? But if you already put money to the side, right? And let's just say you're driving and your car gets a flat tire and it gets a nail in it and you need a whole new tire and you all stressed out. You like, I ain't got no money. I ain't got no money. How I'm gonna pay for it? Well, guess what? You don't have to be stressed out because you have a emergency fund. So you just go to that money that you've been saving monthly, weekly, every 2 weeks, however you decide that you want to do it. And it doesn't have to be some grandiose amount, right? It doesn't have to be some grandiose amount because a lot of people are under the impression of, well, I'm living paycheck to paycheck now. How am I supposed to save some money, right? You just do it, right? You just do it. It doesn't matter the amount. Don't get wrapped up on the amount. Even if you only end up putting $20 to the side, for your emergency fund, you don't know what that can do, right? So if you do not have a emergency fund, then you are living above your means, right? You're setting yourself up for debt. You're setting yourself up for debt because you didn't put any money into the side, and then you had to get your credit card, right? And then you go charge up your credit card, and then you can't even pay your credit card off, right? That's going to bring me into my next thing, credit cards. Credit cards are your worst enemy and your best friend all at the same time, right? Because if you are not disciplined to use the credit card and pay it right back at that same time, you're going to be setting yourself up. I personally like to use my credit card because I am working on boosting up my credit score, and I know that I'm going to pay my credit off because I do not play around with debt. No ma'am, no sir. I don't like that, right? So I make sure I keep debt out of my life. So these are some helpful tools that you can do as well. Stay away from the credit cards. If you know that you're not disciplined with your money right now, make sure that you stay away from those credit cards because the credit cards is going to be the one that's going to jack you up, okay? So let me see what else I have on here. What can you release? What don't you need in your home anymore, right? Because 9 times out of 10, if you look around your house, you're sitting on a freaking gold mine. There's so many things that you buy and you don't use, and I'm guilty of it. You know, I'm like a little kid. I always like to buy these new things, and then I play with it with a little bit, and then I just put it to the corner, right? But don't just put things to the corner. If you have things in your home right now that is worth value and you're not using it, find some kind of way to rent it. Right? Because we want cyclical income, right? We want cyclical income. We don't want to just sell it and that's it. We want that money to keep flowing, flowing, flowing because currency must flow, right? It cannot stay stagnant, right? So hypothetically, let's just say you got a whole closet of clothes, right? And you don't even wear half of those outfits. Start something where you can rent your clothes. Yes, there are services where people rent their closet out to people. They rent the clothes out to people. There's a real legit business. People are making multiple streams of income by renting out the clothes that they have. So, you know, just see what you can get rid of in your home, and then also see what kind of bills can you cut, right? So let's just hypothetically say you have a gym membership, right? But you ain't never went to the gym. You went to that gym one time, right? You went to that gym one time, but yet you're still paying $75 a month for the gym membership, and you don't even go to the gym, right? Cut it. Cut it. You gotta cut it, right? You gotta cut it, right? So cut that gym membership if you're not using it, right? Let me ask you this, because this is the one that's very hard for people to do, right? So let's just hypothetically say, you know, at the moment you're living paycheck to paycheck, you know, you're behind on your bills, you're behind on your debt. Can you possibly cut your cable off? Right? For the ones that do have cable, can you cut your cable off? Because you cutting your cable off, that's a whole $100, $75, however much cable is, because I haven't had cable for about 7 or 8 years, so I don't know how much cable is, right? But let's just say How much is cable? Somebody put in the comment bar, how much is cable? Let me know how much cable is, right? But hypothetically, let's just say it's $100, right? So imagine if you can cut your cable off for 5 months and it's $100. That's $500 in 5 months that you can take and put towards some type of debt that you're needing to pay off, right? It's about necessity. It's about needs versus wants, right? What do you really need, right? Or do you need it or do you want it, right? So when I go out places, I have to ask myself, do I need this? Like, when I mean need, like, can I survive without it, or is it just something I want just because? Because when you just always go for things because you want it, I want it, you're not thinking about if you need it, right? So figure out your wants versus your needs the next time you buy something, right? Okay, so moving along. Save 10% of your income. 125, so dang, 125 for cable right there, right? So save 10% of your income. So most of you are like, well, how am I supposed to save 10% of my income when I don't really have no income? You got to do it. You have to save it. You got to save it. And don't just save it and tuck it under the mattress, or save it, like I said, and put into your savings account. When you save it, put it somewhere where you can't touch it, right? Where you cannot withdraw it, right? I don't care how broke or how much you don't have money that month or that day. You need to put your money somewhere where you cannot touch it, right? Because the power of compounding is so important, right? And I'll do a whole nother video. I got to write that down. I'll do a whole nother video on the power of compounding, right? But if you put money and save it, and it grows 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 and it grows, right? That compounding effect is going to be a bigger number, right? It's going to be a huge number. So put your money somewhere where you cannot touch it. Okay? Let me see what else I got for you. Okay. So last but not least, and these are just a couple of ways. There's other ways, but I wanted to share these ways with you all today. The last one is tithing, right? Tithing back to the community is so very important, right? I had posted something a couple of days ago asking people, well, who do you tithe to? Somebody said they tithe to their bills. I'm like, that's not tithing. That's not tithing, right? Tithing is not paying your bills. That's not a form of giving back, right? I asked somebody else what tithing is. They said giving back to the Lord. Right? You can give back to God by giving back to people, because God is in the people, right? God is in the people, right? So some of you may know I was doing Tithing Fridays, and I was telling everybody, drop down your PayPal below, drop down your Cash App below, and I would have over 100 comments of people dropping their PayPal, dropping their Cash App, because everybody wants, everybody wants, but nobody never wants to give. Now, I'm not saying that people wasn't actually giving people when they were dropping their PayPal and their Cash App, but I wanted to change it up. When you tithe, we should tithe back to our community, to a cause, right? And I preferably say tithe to something that you like to do, right? If you're a fan of yoga and you love yoga and yoga is your thing, then find ways that you can, tie back to a yoga community, whether it be your service, right? Because your energy and your time is money, right? So whether it be your time, your service, or whether you breaking them off a piece of change, right? But every month you should tithe. You could put money to the side and put a certain amount to the side, and then when you feel led, you can tithe, right? Like, I put money to the side always for tithing. And then I was out one day and somebody was like, well, can I get, I need $20 for such and such. And so since I put money to the side for tithing, it didn't even affect any of my other money because I put money to the side to tithe back to, even what I'm doing right now, I'm tithing back to my community. I am helping each and every one of you increase your finances and eliminate your debt by being aware of your means. So this is another form of tithing that I do day in and day out. Anytime I do a live video, I'm tithing because I'm always coming with some value, right? So keep in mind, I will continue to do the tithing Fridays, but I'm just going to be doing it different. I'm going to be picking a person in the community, shouting them out so everybody can tithe to their cause. Whether it's a GoFundMe, whether it's a Kickstarter, whether it is raising money because you were stuck in a hurricane or something, that's tithing. Right? That's tithing, not just waiting for a handout because Isis Love says drop your PayPal, drop your Cash App, and you're just waiting for the notification, but yet you didn't give anything to anybody and then you might say, well, Isis, I don't even have any money. How can I tithe? You need to tithe the most. If you don't have any money to tithe, you need to tithe the most because the whole part of tithing is showing the universe, thank you so much, universe, God, Buddha, Allah, whatever name you choose, thank you for blessing me with the finances that I have. Thank you for the money that I already have. I'm so blessed. I'm so grateful that I'm able to turn around and bless somebody else, right? So you should tithe, right? And then we know the power in law of attraction and reciprocity. What you put out, you get back in, right? But don't tithe just because you like, well, shoot, I'm about to tithe because I know I'm about to get paid. I'm about to tithe because I know I'm getting paid. No, tithe because you want to tithe, right? Tithe because you want to, but do keep in your mind that what you give comes back to you, family. So that about wraps up what I wanted to speak about today, and that was living beneath your means. So if you just are tuning into my live video, please go back and watch the full thing, right? Watch the full thing. Also, please, to all my YouTube family, because this will be on YouTube, please subscribe to my channel, right? Like this video, comment. If you love that I bring value day in and day out, go to my Facebook page and hit the follow button so that you're always notified with the latest and greatest info that I have, okay? So before I exit out, I want everybody to know if anybody's interested in my financial coaching or Forex or learning more about finances, please contact me, inbox me. As I spoke about before, my business is My Life Financial Liberation, and that's basically the liberation of your financial journey, right? The mind is really the we. Your journey and your liberation financially is so important. So please don't forget, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm actually going to put a video in the comment bar so you can easily go there. Click on subscribe, stay plugged in, okay? It's been a pleasure. It was your girl, Isis Love. Peace, love, and prosperity, fam.